You know, when I saw the first two Equestria Girls movies, I wasn't really too much high hopes for the third movie, but then after seeing the teaser, I kind of got a little bit invested. But then when I actually saw the movie, ho ho! I got pretty excited. Equestria Girls 3 Friendship Games. So we get a recap of the first two Equestria Girls movies. You know, in case you didn't see the first two movies, pretty much that's the reason why you're watching the third one, because obviously they're just going to recap of what we saw the first time. So what's the point of the recap? Just to, for new audiences to understand what happened before. So, of course, we get Sunset Shimmer, played by Rebecca Schultz. She's pretty much trying to figure out the magic in Canterlot High School to see how the magic works in their world compared to the Pony World, and how the Pony World's magic, somehow, how it controls here differently than in the Pony World. So, of course, her and the rest of the Human Six, yes, that's what they're called. It's kind of ridiculous when you think about it. We get a look at Twilight Sparkle from the human world, obviously played by Tara Strong, and we see that she's trying to also discover the magic of this world because, of course, she's part of this school called Crystal Prep, a school who pretty much beats Canterlot High in this Olympic kind of sports in this high school Olympic sports called the Friendship Games. So Twilight Sparkle in the human world is pretty much just a geek who pretty much is lonely in her school. She has no friends. She pretty much is like if Twilight never met her friends in the Pony World. So that's pretty much what would happen if to Twilight, and what she'll look like if, that it never happened to her. So, of course, she pretty much has, of course, dog Spike, who pretty much helps her out in this scientific experiment where she somehow has invents some kind of portal, dimensional portal locator kind of thing. I don't know what she calls it, but pretty much a way to take the energy away from the Human Six and Sunset Shimmer, but originally she just wanted to use to navigate where the magic's coming from. But of course she does not know what she invented, and let me tell you, it's definitely dangerous. So of course then she meets this very nasty principal, and she's like, if you do not compete in the friendship games, then I will not send you to that awesome high school, that awesome university that you're trying to go to. And she's like, what? Like, what? Why would you want me to compete in the games even though I officially have the highest grades in this whole school? In a way that doesn't make any logical sense. This principal's just trying to make sure that Crystal Prep is somehow the better school compared to Canterlot High, so pretty much he's just winning everything. So of course the friendship games begins, and let me tell you, we see awesome sports. And let me tell you, these sports are a lot of fun. There's motocrossing, archery, and academic classes. Wait, what? Is this sports that we would see in this, in regular high schools? I mean, I don't get it. It's kind of unlogical in a way. But then, of course, we get to a side story where we find out that Twilight Sparkle from the human world trying to take the energy away from our main characters. And let me tell you, a lot of things are going to happen. So of course then the principal finds out about what Twilight's doing, and she's now telling her, you better release the magic and try to make sure that we beat Canterlot High and win from Crystal Prep. You hear me? Or you're never going to that university. And so clearly Twilight is stuck and she's nervous. So yeah, pretty much she tries to figure out what is going on, and Sunset Shimmer is pretty much nerfed to her head, and then by the end of the movie, we get probably the best 10 minutes of this film, and let me tell you, it is awesome. This last 10 minutes of the film is pretty much amazing and great. Oh, and there's also a post-credit end scene, and yeah, a lot of stuff hits. So, of course, what do I think of this movie? Well, here's the thing. I actually thought the pacing in this movie was way better than the first two films. And let me tell you, the first few minutes I saw this movie, I'm just like, oh, please, this is kind of repetitive in a way. But then, during time, the movie gets better and better and better and better, and let me tell you, it leads up to that epic climax, and probably one of the best endings I've ever saw in this series. And That's why I declare that happens to be my favorite Equestria Girls movie. No, like, I only have like one or two nitpicks in this film, and really, the rest of the movie itself is pretty damn awesome. I'm not kidding. This movie was freaking awesome. I mean, a lot of stuff was really good. I mean, even though there wasn't much sports in the game, which many people would probably be upset about, at least we get to see what happens in the sports in the game, and it's definitely doesn't corrupt in the plot of the movie. It doesn't corrupt the plot in the movie at all, and it's pretty much really well paced, and also I really love the characters. The performance of Rebecca Schultz playing the voice of Sancha Chimmer I thought was incredible. She really feels emotion. She's doing her best to try to save her friends from all this madness, and literally she probably gives out one of the best speeches in the movie, and that's what I really like. And even though that Twilight Sparkle in the human world doesn't act like the Twilight Sparkle from the pony world, it doesn't matter because the performance is definitely well done. And one of the best parts of this movie is that there wasn't that much singing in the movie. When it comes to Friendship is Magic and the Equestria Girls, they try to put as many hammered in songs as much as they can, but let me tell you, there wasn't that many songs in this movie. No, there's probably like 1, 2, or 3 songs, that's it. And yeah, pretty much the whole movie is focused on the friendship games, focusing on character development, focusing on trying to see what's going to happen to these characters, and that's what's really good. Also, if you've seen the teasers, you probably know that Cadence is in here, and let me tell you, Cadence somehow isn't just thrown in, you know, in the movie just because of the fan service. She actually has a purpose in this film, and that's what's so good. Like I said, the only two nitpicks I have in this film is that the first few minutes of this movie was kind of weak, and I didn't feel too invested, but like I said, it got better over time. Also, second, there are some characters in the movie that I felt that should have either talked or should have get it developed. Like I said, Flash Century. What is wrong with these people? Why isn't Flash Century getting developed in any of these films, knowing this is the final film of the series? Let's just hope that his pony counterpart gets more developed than his human counterparts. And also the Cutie Mark Crusaders. Why are they there? I don't understand. They're just there to show off or something. Pretty much, I'm just calling them, the Equestria Girls version of these characters are pretty much known as the Cameo Crusaders. I am just calling them the Cameo Crusaders because, let me tell you, since they don't talk, they don't do anything in this movie at all, they clearly don't need to be in the movie. I mean, the first movie they had a purpose. They obviously were there just because, you know, they kind of were involved, but then in the second movie they had no purpose, the third movie they had no purpose, so why even add the Crusaders in the movie? I mean, even in the Friendship is Magic show, they at least had purpose in being there, you know, for certain episodes, but here we don't find any development whatsoever, or even a bit of reasoning of why they're in this movie. So yeah, I pretty much am calling them the Cameo Crusaders in the Equestria Girls world, and in the Pony world, they're known as the Cutie Mark Crusaders, because it is fair. So, like I said, the movie is well paced, the story is great, and I felt that the performances in the film were fantastic. I love Rebecca Schultz, I love Tara Strong, I love Ashley Ball, Andrea Libman, Tabitha St. Germain. They all did fantastic performances, and let me tell you, it's definitely great seeing these people trying to interact with each other in these roles, because it is incredible, it is amazing, they do an awesome job, and this movie does an awesome job, and like I said, the last 10 minutes of this movie is incredible. It is probably one of the best things you will ever see. Also, don't forget to stay to the post-credits scene, because let me tell you, it's probably one of the funniest gags you'll ever see. And also, here's a problem. You spoiled the season finale for season 5. I mean, come on, guys. You know this movie was coming out early, and somehow you decided to let that little gag in. And yeah, I'm not going to say what it is, but you'll find out in the post-credit end scene. But my final verdict is Equestria Girls Friendship Games is awesome-tacular. So what did you think about Equestria Girls Friendship Games? Comment below, let me know. And if you want to subscribe to here to see more, click right here to see more.